effectively as scandal after scandal has unfolded, has tarnished his reputation. The writer Arundhati Roy is herself a seasoned campaigner. Her anti-establishment views and willingness to side with the country's poorest people in land and rights issues have often put her at odds with mainstream India. I asked her what she thought was behind the protests.
The sort of chronic corruption that affects people just in their ordinary daily lives, as well as the massive corruption that, the huge scandals, and people just see, the scales of money that are being virtually looted without any accountability and without any sign that the government wants to do anything other than shield the people involved. So, the anger is just so palpable now. The puzzling thing about this one is that a media that is normally extremely hostile to all sorts of resistance movements in villages, among the poorer people, is supporting this, not just supporting it, but, is fully supporting it.
Could this be because Hazare has emerged at a time when some might say there's a lack of leadership in India?
It's not just a lack of leadership, but there's a serious crisis in the whole system of representative democracy in India, which has happened, where even the people who stand for elections now are somehow only people who are billionaires and millionaires. If you look at the list of the people who win elections, most of them, you can only stand for elections if you're sort of bankrolled by some company or some corporation in some way. So there's a huge distance grown between people who say they've been elected and who actually represent what people want. I mean, the bill that the government is trying to pass, if you look at it, actually punishes the person who files the complaint and protects the person who's been accused of corruption. And so it's so ridiculous that it's created a crisis where you can't have a reasonable discussion anymore.
Do you feel, though, watching events unfold as they are, that this is a dangerous moment for India and Indian democracy?
Yes, I do. The semiotics, the visuals of what one sees here, there are mixed signals for someone like me, because I see that kind of aggressive nationalism that reminds you of the Hindu right in some ways. But on the other hand, I think there's a lot of good too, that people are realizing that they do have to come out, and they do have to take things into their own hands. But I think it's very delicately poised, and it could go either way.
The writer Arundhati Roy.